Hi Aries, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for June 20th to the end of the month. I'm just stating it that. Let's get right into things. So I did a very extended read on love, singles, partnered, as well as those in separation that I posted this week. You could check those out. So I'm not going to be focusing on relationship. If relationship messages come out and happen to resonate with you, great. Otherwise, we'll be looking at other parts of life, the energies as a general influence, maybe dealing with a particular person or a situation. However the messages come out to me, remember these are general. Take what resonates, throw out the rest, and you want to make sure you check your rising sign, moon sign, and your Venus sign. Okay, we have a lot of energy going on this week, Aries. And I think you and the other cardinal signs, as has been the case for the past, couple of years, actually, the cardinal signs have really been going through quite a lot. But I feel like for you, there's a lot going on between this 4th and 10th house axis, right? Having to do with home, having to do with your career, balancing those two, right? We have the sun entering Cancer on the 20th, 21st, depending on where you live, right? And that's going to be hitting your 4th house. At the same time this week, on the 24th, we have the full moon happening in Capricorn. That's in your 10th house. So that 4th house, 10th house is to do with home and career. They kind of work together, right? And so this is going to be illuminate something that where if you're experiencing any kind of conflict between roots and direction, where it is that you're going, because attachments and love are ruled by Cancer, right? And so that's going to be that 4th house, and achievements and rewards, or even punishments, I hate to say, but those are ruled by Capricorn, right? Which is the 10th house energy. So in some ways, this polarity is dealing with the balance between unconditional love and conditional love. Things are conditional and unconditional, you know what I mean? So especially those of you that have energies between 0 and 8 degrees are going to be feeling it. And if you have other cardinal placements, like Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, you're going to be feeling it particularly hard. Now, the thing is this, I feel like a lot of you are going to be experiencing a huge shift in consciousness, right? Because we have Jupiter turning retrograde, we have Neptune turning retrograde, both in your 12th house this week. So I feel like your subconscious, there's going to be this shift. It's going to be confusing. You're going to feel held back. But ultimately, whatever you feel held back, whatever feels confusing is done on purpose right now. Please believe me, Aries, if you're feeling very confused and like, I'm really not sure what to do, whatever hesitation you're feeling, whatever restriction you're feeling emotionally, because that 12th house is your subconscious. It's a very deep water energy. It's where Pisces lives. It's because something's not meant to work for you right now in the way that you're thinking about. So this really is this kind of thing where, I'm not even going to say rejection is protection, because it's not going to be a rejection. There's going to be some sort of delay, but that the delay is meant so that you can look at something from a different perspective. So it's actually going to be very healing for you. And in this way also, two good things I really like this week for you. You guys have had Mercury retrograde in your 3rd house of communication. So that's been really tough as far as, what it is that's required in order to have open, honest, clear communication. So Mercury's finally going direct. Not going to be at a post shadow until the beginning of July, but that's okay. You're going to start to feel the shift. And also Saturn is forming a sextile to Chiron between your 11th and your 1st house. So what does this mean? I just feel like there's going to be some humbling, right? Which I think is going to be really, really good. Feeling very confident, very secure, being able to make some really good, effective decisions, even though you're going to be a little confused. You're going to feel the shift. You're going to be able to express what it is that you want, what it is that you're looking for, without any drama though. See, that's the thing. When Saturn sextiles Chiron, it sort of brings on some sensibility and gets rid of the drama. And with that, in conjunction with Mercury finally going direct for you, I feel like you're going to be able to better articulate more than you have been what it is that you want, need, or desire as far as your long-term goals and plans. And this could have to do with business. This could have to do with a family situation. This could have to do with where you live, right? So these are all these things about where it is that you're going. So even though you might feel an element of restriction still, it's a very necessary part of the process. Hope that makes sense to you. Okay. So let's just these, and then I'm gonna pull a Celtic cross spread for this time period. But let's get a lay of the land here. We have Leo, we have Saturn, and we have the 11th house. Yeah, I mean, I like that we have the 11th house. I like that. Yeah, this is nice, right? Because we have this happening. The Saturn is in that 11th house energy. That's going to be sextiling Chiron in your first house. So what does that mean? That 11th house energy is goals, gains, wishes, what it is that you really want to do. And Leo is just that, what it is that you want to do. It's creativity, it's children, it's falling in love, it's love affairs, it's how you connect with your partner, it's hobbies, it's entrepreneurial efforts. So I really like that. So let's take it one row at a time. We have tune out distractions, which is being clarified by the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is an energy of anxiety. You might feel overwhelmed by something that's going on in your life right now. You might even be struggling with sleeping through the night. You might be struggling with some sort of depression, and just not responding well to the external stress of a particular situation in your life because you can't see your way out of something. It's just not very clear to you right now. And then we have clarifying that, we have the fate. So whatever's going on right now is very, very fated, right? Everything is happening exactly how it's supposed to happen. And then the final energy here is conjunction, empowerment. This is about combining and joining forces. So if this has to do with an intimate situation, it's you really joining forces with your partner to try to figure something out. It's you joining forces with somebody or something, a business partner, a family member, coming together for, again, this concentrated joining of forces, so that something can be overridden. Okay, and this is the thing. This is an energy also that, if not handled the right way, it can be very overwhelming. But this is having to tune out distractions is the leading energy into this. It just seems to me that tuning out the noise and stuff that doesn't really matter at the end of the day is going to be the key, and just to really sift through what really matters and staying very focused on that. We have do what you love, really important, and that is clarified by the beautiful Magician, which I have a good feeling about for you just because of this Mercury finally on the 29th coming out of retrograde. At least it's doing the turn, right? Until it gets out of full shadow on July 7th. So, but you're going to be feeling the shift. Now, the Magician energy is straight Mercury, okay? So Mercury rules Gemini, which is the third house, right? And right, this is perfect because that's exactly where you've had Mercury retrograde, right? So, and also Mercury rules Virgo, which is the landlord of the sixth house, which is the house of solving problems, right? So I feel like there's going to be some really good communication about doing something that you really, really love, and you finding peace with that. You being, oh man, this is like a very interesting energy, because it's like you're very focused on what it is that you truly, truly want in your life, whether it's that job, whether it's that family situation, that relationship situation. But big thing, do you really want to open that business? Do you really want to do that job? Do you really want to have a child? Do you really want to get married? Do you really want to do any of these things? And we have this idea of Neptune here. So Neptune rules the 12th house. So we have those two retrograde energies happening here. So again, when Jupiter turns retrograde, it's happening on like the 20th, 21st, depending on where you live, you may experience like a slowing down of projects or plans. But again, this can be a blessing in disguise in order to gain some sort of perspective. Like initially you might feel kind of bummed out about something, and you might even experience a sort of like crisis of faith or hope, because you're going to at least feel like your luck, whatever that means, really, but your luck is less overt during this period. And this is happening from like June until October. Although in July, like 28th, 29th, it goes into Aquarius. Right now, it's going to be in Pisces for you. So it could be just like a little foggy, right? Because Jupiter's trying to help you to not wind up in something where you end up being the victim. And where it's not ultimately good for you. So if you're feeling this way, just know, okay, all right, Jupiter's retrograde in Pisces. I get it. It's happening in my 12th, hanging out right there with Neptune, right? Neptune here is going to be retrograde in Pisces, right on that 25th in that 12th house. So you could feel kind of like, I'm not really inspired. I'm not really, A, B, and C. I'm just really confused. So some of you might be confused about being able to crystallize what it is that you want, even though you are You're formulating it. You're trying to communicate it. You may even be able to specifically communicate it, but you may not be able to put it into actual play right now, just because of other things, obviously, that are going to be going on. There are other things that you need to look at. It doesn't mean these things aren't going to happen. It just means that something has to play out first. Now, we have this busting out of your cocoon, and I really feel like this for you, Aries. There's been, I feel like for you guys, a lot of you have been feeling very restricted when it comes to a lot of things. And then we have that being clarified by the Page of Wands. So this is really good news coming in about any project that requires negotiation, any situation that requires negotiation. If you're resonating with this as work, if you're here for work messages, this could be a busy time for you. This could bring a new offer. But the thing is with the Page of Wands, because the page is not very developed, right? He's considered the young'un of the court. So something might not be as fabulous, as high, as glittery, or as glam as you would like to expect, but it still appeals to you in theory. Right? Again, you still, even though Mercury is coming out of retrograde, you still want to read the fine print of something if it has to do with a job, okay? But just as a general influence, this is you really full-blown, really feeling the need to express yourself. So do that. Express yourself. Say what you have to do. Say what you have to say, rather, and then come to the edge. Come to the edge is clarifying that. This is like, what are you scared of? Go in that direction. What have you been feeling like you're not ready for? Go in that direction. What have you been most afraid of? Go in that direction. It might not all go the way exactly that you want, but going in that direction and just experiencing the process is going to end up ultimately bringing the transformation. And this is exactly what it is that you want. You want transformation right now. You want transformation in that relationship, in that career, in that family situation, whatever is on your heart, right? Because we're really kind of focused on this fifth house energy, this Leo energy. You being able to do what you want to do because you want to do it, express yourself, fall in love, start that business, have a child. Go towards these goals, right? That's what it's all about for you right now. So if you're feeling a little foggy, a little like, I still feel like I have somebody holding me back, don't worry. It is going to end up lifting. Everything is going to start to feel like it's shifting. This has been a hell of a month for everybody. You know, it's just been very weird, right? Because a lot of the transits that have been happening together. So I feel like it is going to end up ultimately lightening up for you. So I like those energies for you, my friend. So let's pull a Celtic cross spread and see what we can, any other messages that we can get for our Aries friends. Okay, we have the High Priestess and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, some of you may be like very in your head, very in the planning stage of something, right? That is that High Priestess energy. Remember, it's associated with the moon, and the moon hides our emotions underneath. Now we have the Justice energy coming into this. So this is, you're very focused on something being fair and balanced. So, you know, is that relationship fair and balanced? Is everybody showing up equitably? Having to do with finances, connection, helping out, communicate, intimacy, whatever it is, right? Or this could also have to do with any sort of business contract, because this is a Libra energy, and Libra rules the 7th house of contractual partnerships. So it could have to do with marriage, it could have to do with a business situation, anything like that. But being focused on a win-win situation, is something fair, is it not, right? If it has to do with relationship or your emotional needs being met, if this has to do with some sort of situation having to do with work, you might feel like you've been challenged in something or tested in something, but this means that things are going to go well and in your favor, having to do with anything regarding negotiating, whether it's interviewing, negotiating, needing to work out that deal, whatever it is. Any kind of situation where you need to have a meeting of the mind. So I like it because it does indicate also an improvement in money, right? Things getting better. Situation right now, we have the High Priestess, that everything that you're thinking inside, and that's being challenged by this Page of Pentacles, which is about progress and auspicious beginnings regarding, you know, whatever you're here for, whether it's finance, business, an offer made on a property, anything having to do with education. This could even have to do with a new cycle in relationship, mental, physical, emotional connection, right? Are the relationship that you're in already going into a new cycle within that relationship, or even meeting somebody new? You really want to be paying attention to finances in this energy as well. Very practical stuff, because you have a lot of fourth house energy going on, and that does represent our, not only our home, but also our ability to feel safe and secure. So I feel like a lot of this is sort of you're really looking at these things very tightly right now in your subconscious mind, right? Again, that high priestess is sort of what's going on intuitively. It's you tapping into your intuition, and really sort of honoring how it is that you're feeling about this next stage. And you're ready to go into something new, or at least you're feeling like you need to handle something differently with the Fool energy. So Fool energy is Uranus, right? So as far as relationships go, if you're not in a relationship, this could indicate a new relationship. If you're already partnered, this can be a new start or approach, like doing things differently than before, which can be really good. If this is to do with career or money, this can indicate a new path, a new opportunity, a new approach to something in your current situation, even a new, even a whole new career, Aries. You just want to make sure that you prioritize your responsibilities in order for things to go as smoothly as you would like, you know. Some of you may even have somebody in your home that's moving out for the first time. So there might be conversation about somebody maybe going away to college for the first time or moving out, right? It is this energy of brand new, let's go, something new kind of thing. And then we have the Magician as the ground, the foundation energy. Again, Mercury, right? So mentioned before. So, I love this card. In numerology, this is the Wheel of Fortune and the Sun. So this is like taking a chance and having everything that you need to make it happen. But it's really going to depend on how you specifically handle your strategies, your choices, your communication, right? I mean, none of this is written in stone, right? It's kind of like the weather report. How are you going to handle it? And what I like about the Magician is you have everything that you need in order to crystallize the situation. So if you're in a relationship, communication is great, and any issues or problems that you might have been challenged by can be resolved through a deeper understanding of each other's needs, right? Which is nice. This could also indicate you guys taking on some sort of new venture. So a new venture can mean getting married, having a baby, buying a house, opening a business, anything like that. You guys deciding together to do that. If you're resonating with this more as like a career money kind of thing, this could indicate a new beginning or direction in career. This can also indicate very inspired leadership from somebody who's very solid, who's not flaky, who's not flighty, who's who's solid and who knows how to communicate. So you might be meeting somebody like that, or you might be in that space right now. Now that Mercury is coming out of retrograde, your words are going to be more clear when you speak. So there's a lot of newness here, right? There's a lot of newness as far as path goes. And now for you, representing you, we have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is some sort of useful information's coming in, and you're getting help from people around you to somehow further what it is that you want to do. So what can this look like? This can look like getting help in some sort of business venture, like a contract coming your way regarding a job, or any sort of agreement, maybe having to do with that family situation or that lawsuit situation. This could also be getting help from anybody in the medical community, right? If you are if you've been looking around for help, if you're having a hard time getting pregnant, if you're having a hard time getting to the bottom of some sort of physical issue that's been going on, right? You getting some sort of useful information coming in, which is going to start a new cycle that's actually quite beautiful. Now, the energy that's surrounding you is the Hierophant. So some of you, maybe getting married. Some of you may be focusing on your marriage in a different way. Your marriage might be a thing, like particularly if maybe you're getting help getting pregnant, or you're getting help something like that. You just very sort of, a lot of your energy is just sort of focused on fourth house marriage sort of energies, or this could just simply be general energy of conforming to something, because this has to do with conforming. This has to do with emotional development, expectations. Now, if this has to do with career or money, this is about progression forward in your work, in your direction, moving forward, right? So you can be, again, dealing with somebody who is very sort of motivated. Feel like there's somebody that you're going to be dealing with in your life that's just sort of very motivated, very inspirational for you, I guess I want to say. They're going to be very helpful on your path, Aries. I feel like that. you know, just because we have the Magician and the Hierophant. Those are two major arcanas that do indicate really kind of together and very inspirational, motivating other people, which is nice. But you're going to be at cross purposes with yourself. This is going to be happening inside your own head, and you're going to be in this space. It's like, all right, I need to think. I feel like I'm in an emotional stalemate. You need to make a decision. You know that. But at the same time, you really want to protect yourself. So it's this tricky energy. But whatever you're in here, whatever situation is on tap here, it's not going to go away. So you really have to resolve it now by standing your ground, saying what you think, right? Remember, swords are thoughts. Because you have to make a decision, at least in your own mind. You have to just at least kind of gear the trajectory of where you're going with this particular situation. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is focusing on responsibilities in a very diligent, very hardworking way. This could be money or connection being on its way as a result of some sort of previous efforts that you've put out there. Excuse me. Like this can be some sort of new opportunity, or an opportunity that maybe you put your feelers out for. This could have to do with the opportunity in work, opportunity to further your education, anything having to do with your skill set. But in general, this is a need for a very logical and very, very diligent approach to whatever situation this is, right? Understanding it's like slow and steady wins the race. And I feel like, you know, especially because you have these retrograde energies in your 12th house, so you have subconscious, that's going to benefit you. Just kind of like having your eye on the prize, but approaching that slowly. Now we have this is very interesting because we have this energy sort of this delay, and then we have the Death card as the final outcome. So for some of you, if you're in a relationship, this could, first of all, this is big changes through transformation and the moving on from something, right? Which we're kind of feeling, right? This idea of moving on and newness. So if this has to do with a relationship, this could be a relationship ending where there's a time for separation that's really necessary if you guys are ever going to find your footing again in the future, right? Just because whatever's been going on up to this point hasn't, you can't continue in that space, right? This could have to do with friendships falling away at this time, even though you guys could certainly reconnect in the future if it's meant to work like that. This could also indicate a possible ending of a business connection or an avenue of money that might be initially challenging, you know, but things are kind of going to go in your way in the future. Something is like right there, right on the horizon. So don't worry about it too much. Just kind of ride it out for now. Now, for others of you, this could just be your living circumstances might be changing because you realize that where you live no longer meets your overall needs, and this can manifest as an offer to move somewhere that ends up inciting a new beginning for you, you know, which would be a, you know, positive energy in that way. You might be realizing, you know what, I need to move to a bigger place. So we have the Three of Pentacles, which is about collaboration. The Six of Swords is about literally moving away from something, right? This could be literal travel for some of you, but this is moving on. You know, detaching from something, at least taking a break from a relationship, a job, a situation, so you can kind of figure things out. But again, for some of you, you might be literally moving. So we have the Two of Cups. This is a nice energy, a mutually supportive energy. So it always indicates a very positive conversation for me. So for those of you who are single, this could indicate a new passion. Those of you who are together, if you've been going through some trippy energy, things getting better at this point. If this has to do with career, this is a really good conversation about something that's been going on, that's been bothering you. Yeah, as it does seem like you have to talk about something that's been bothering you, Aries. I mean, if this has to do with a relationship, I do feel that you've been like struggling with some sort of disappointment or some sort of confusion, right? Feeling like something has let you down within a connection. And that lack of trust that that relationship or the situation can work ends up leading you to make a decision about that. Also, if this has to do more with like career, money, you might be achieving a goal, but you're like, oh, was it even worth it? I just don't know. You want something more than just like a paycheck if it has to do with job. Yeah, then we have the Ten of Pentacles. This is a family energy, guys. This is family maturity, deepening of commitment, shared values, property. This is legacy, inheritance, sharing. So something is on tap here. And we have the Knight of Wands. and the King of Wands. So for some of you, look, the 10 of Pentacles is like to me, that's a very 4th house, 10th house axis kind of thing, which is exactly where you guys have a boatload of energy happening right now. It's this idea of money. Do we have enough money to have the family? Am I making enough money in my career? You know, is everybody contributing evenly? Is creating a family right now the right thing? What is the growth of this situation going to look like on the other side of it? And you're just kind of being in that space of saying, you know, I don't know, but communicating it, because you need to communicate any sort of disappointment that you're feeling here. Then we have the Knight of Wands energy working with the King of Wands. So yeah, I mean, the Knight of Wands energy is about you firing up your ambition and things speeding up, right? Proposals coming in, events speeding up, blocks being lifted, decisions coming in. This is a nice energy. And we have the King of Wands. King of Wands is, you know, you just really expressing what it is that you want, going after what you want, and just don't allow the idea of perfectionism to get in the way. You bring everything that you need to the table. It's going to be well received. It just might take a minute for this to happen because of these retrogrades that are going on, and also because it does seem like something needs to end in order for something new to come in. So you're going to know how that resonates. You're going to know if you're in a relationship and things are really tense right now and not healthy. What are you going to do? It's ridiculous to say that all areas are going to treat it the same way. How are you going to deal with the death energy? Are you going to sit down with your partner, express how you feel, the confusion and disappointment, whatever it is, so that you guys could rebuild this in a healthier way? Or are you going to decide to walk away? It's up to you. If your relationship is awesome, this might have to do with a work situation. This might also have to do with needing to love a family member from a distance. So however it's going to resonate with you, my friends, this does seem like it's a time of shift, but it looks like it's going in a northern direction for you. It's where you're meant to go. So that's what I have for you for this time period through the end of June, starting on the 20th. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.